Players have approved of Magic's presence here, but Charles Barkley suggested that maybe Johnson should step aside and let some of the lesser-known players get some attention.
Now, unfortunately, it's going to take away a lot of publicity from the guys who have had great first half of the season.
They don't normally let retired players play, and if that's the case, then they need to stick with the way they've set the rules and everything. But in the case of, in this particular case, if they're creating another spot and not taking away a spot from another player, personally, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Negative reaction, at least.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. I can't remember if I was recommended to do this. Probably. The community is so awesome. I think it was. Yeah, we're going to check out the 1992 NBA All-Star Game. And I think this was triggered by that Angry Old Hoops video where he was comparing the 92 All-Stars versus a modern regular season game. I'm pretty sure that that's where this came from. But anyways, it's been a long time since I've kind of delved into this, and this is a 24 and a half minute kind of wrap-up highlight reel of that game. And the only reason I'm not reacting to full games is every time I do react to a full game, you all never get to see it because it gets blocked globally. So I have much better odds doing this, and still sometimes they get blocked, but I think I can get away with it since this is brought to you by a channel called MD Ball, and if they got away with posting it, hopefully so will I. But yeah, I normally get demonetized and stuff like that, which I don't care about, but when it comes to the blocking, that one sucks because that means like nobody even gets to ever watch it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. 92 All-Star Game. I remember it being one of the best. Just those jerseys alone trigger some hella good memories for me. So let's jump right into it and break it down and just enjoy some old competitive all-star basketball with the greatest people, the greatest players on earth all on one court and actually competing against each other as opposed to just like shooting half-court shots. So without further ado, I'm linking the original video down below in the description. If you want to check out that channel, they do have many more than just this as far as like game breakdowns. Yeah, everybody else, please leave a like to this video. It helps out a ton. All right, let's get let's kick off this night in a cool fashion. Let's do it. Please don't block me, NBA. Mullen. Clyde. MJ. Magic. Oh, this song? This is a Yanni song. I'm in trouble.
I will have to retire from the Lakers.
Yeah, that's right. This is his last All-Star. Dude, this is cool. Man, please don't block it. I'll cut out the Yanni song. This All-Star Game is so cool. I feel like if I'm talking over this, it might help. Mr. Ewing. Thunder Dan. One of you in the comments messed me up for life on this. Basketball. For those of you who don't know, there's an SNL skit out there that'll ruin this song for you. This is classic. I feel like just in his intro, I could see the strikes coming. It's so bad.
In Orlando, Florida, all the weekend activities have wound down except the best one. About 45 minutes from now, they'll tip off the 42nd All-Star Game, a fast-paced, wide-open showcase for some of the world's greatest athletes. Hi again, everybody.
42nd All-Star Game.
With Quinn Buckner, and welcome to our NBA Showtime perch just above the court here in the Orlando Arena. Now, Quinn, you spent time with many of the 25 players we'll be seeing today. Give us a sense of what they're thinking about entering the game.
You know, there's a sense of excitement. You know, you're like a kid here. This is the big show now. This is showtime. You want to come play your best, but you're also concerned about getting out here and kicking this ball off your foot. So there's a little nervousness, but most of it is high anxiety preparing to play.
Now, there are no players from the Orlando Magic here, but there has been plenty of Magic here in Orlando. Magic Johnson, that is. 3 months ago, he announced his retirement from the NBA after testing positive for the HIV virus. But he was voted by the fans as one of the starting guards for the Western Conference Stars. His presence in Orlando has been the source of much discussion, and his every move, obviously, has been well documented.
Yeah.
He was the first player in town showing up at the arena on Thursday to work on his game. Throughout the weekend, he's been giving autographs, holding press conferences, trying to get a message across.
I have to be out there for myself, and I have to be out there for a lot of people who are, whether they have a disease, whether they have a handicap, whatever they have, and let them see that they can carry on and still live and don't have to feel like they're different.
You see the pride that was in the All-Star Game back then? Not only was it the perfect platform for players to prove, not only are they good enough to make it to the All-Star Game, but if you can play good in an All-Star Game, then you get the bragging rights of saying, yeah, I just put up 30 points against the best players in the world, all on one court. Now what? You know? Now there's no pride left in it. Nobody tries. So even if you do have a good game in an All-Star Game, it doesn't matter because nobody was trying anyways. And Magic retired, and he's out there making a point, you know? Yeah, I have a disease. I'm sick, but I'm still out here playing basketball as long as they'll let me.
Most players have approved of Magic's presence here, but Charles Barkley suggested that maybe Johnson should step aside and let some of the lesser-known players get some attention.
Now, unfortunately, it's going to take away a lot of publicity from the guys who have had great first half of the season.
They don't normally let retired players play, and if that's the case, then they need to stick with the way they've set the rules and everything. But in the case of, in this particular case, if they're creating another spot and not taking away a spot from another player, personally, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Negative reaction, at least publicly, has been rare. The players understand it's a very sensitive issue.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should be insulted by people asking those questions or having those questions. The worst thing that can happen is people go around whispering it. But when you ask those questions and the medical people come out and they answer those questions, then hey, let the guy play. Let's get out here and have some fun and let the fans see what they want to see.
Well, I forgot there was that much controversy around it, but it does sound right. Yeah, I'm glad he got to play in this game. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I understand the risks and everything involved. Everything ended up okay, and I'm glad this happened.
Right, here are two players the fans want to see, Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. They're with Ahmad Rashad for some further reaction to Magic Johnson's participation in today's game. Take it away, Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Now, this All-Star game is always special, but this is even a little bit more special because it's Magic's last game.
Yeah, I think you're understanding that, and I'm pretty sure competitive thing, and I know
that's not me, you guys. That's something with the audio.
Understanding that, and I'm pretty sure competitive thing, and I know he wants it to be competitive. You know, it is kind of special to all of us, to what he meant to the basketball game.
And Charles, your thoughts on that? So you wearing the number 32, it is a special game, isn't it?
It is a special game, but I think the most important thing, we got to get the AIDS awareness message out there. But also, I think the West having a definite advantage with Magic got there, because they're going to be a little bit pumped up. And but the main thing is to get the AIDS message out there, but they have an advantage.
All right, now this is a special game, but let me ask you this. You guarding him. It'll be up to you to shut him down.
I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's a defense thing, you know. I've against him before. How good is so that's something that you have to be worried about.
All right, so I'm looking forward to it, and I know you guys are excited, looking for a good game.
Ready to go?
All right, Bob.
All right, Ahmad, Charles Barkley modifying his comments, softening them from several days ago. Most of the players arrived in town on Friday. Yesterday, there was a short practice for both teams, and that left plenty of time for the participants to take in the sights. It's impossible to think of Orlando without conjuring up Disney World, so when the players and their families hit town, the Magic Kingdom.
You guys, I had no idea it was going to be, it was going to have the full intro here. Does it show the game? I mean, does it show the game? Guys, I think it's just coverage. I'm actually really surprised, but I'm not going to stop.
Had to be the first stop. The Suns' Jeff Hornacek got his official Mickey Mouse ears, a touching scene. And then he pulled a 360 on the merry-go-round with his wife and 2 sons. The Epcot Center also saw its share of NBA players. For example, the Pistons' Joe Dumars rapping with the resident rodent. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan got ready for the All-Star game by taking to the links for several rounds of golf.
Of course.
And he got his picture taken with someone who might be even more famous than he is.
I thought it was going to be Bugs.
Over 4,000 people attended a party hosted Friday night by the NBA at the Disney MGM Studios theme park. There was a parade with NBA players in attendance, including Isaiah Thomas and former teammates Mitch Richmond and Chris Mullin, reunited in this moving moment. Yesterday, the players spent some time together waiting for the stay-in-school jam. Charles Smith played cameraman, and if he looked around, he could have shot the immortal Curly Neal taking in the show.
Oh, wow.
And what a show it was. The kids had a great time, and everybody hopes that those watching across the country came away having learned the same lesson the people here in Orlando did.
Stay in school. It's your best move.
And following the stay-in-school jam, it was a short respite, and then on to All-Star Saturday night, the Legends game, the three-point contest, and the slam dunk competition. Quinn Buckner took it all in.
All-Star Saturday night tipped off with the Legends Classic. Led by the Iceman George Gervin's 24, the East won by 8. Unfortunately, the game was marred by 2 injuries.
Oh, no.
David Thompson ruptured a tendon in his knee, and Norm Nixon went down with a torn quadricep tendon.
Damn, man.
But
I hope the league pays for those hospital bills.
It bounced back with the three-point shootout.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Price.
Sacramento's Jim Les was the early.
Jim Les, sorry. That looked like Mark Price. Nope. There it is, clear as day.
And his 20 points in the semi put him in the finals against the Bulls. Craig Hodges, who shot first, found the range and hit for 16 points.
It's funny, Craig Hodges barely played at all in Bulls games, but he was one of my favorite players in the league because I loved the three-point contest. And, yeah, he was like king of the three-point contest. He even came back to defend his title once. After he wasn't an active player anymore, and he wore, I think it was a white-colored generic NBA T-shirt, like a tank top, and it was like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Was less, and it came down to the last ball. You could say Hodges had more than less. A third straight title with a little help from his coach, Cliff Livingston. You got a couple coaches here. You got 2 here. You had Cliff. Oh, yeah. Is this the difference?
It's definitely the difference when you have friends and family who support you the way I've had this last 3 years, and I just thank God for it, Quinn.
The final event, the slam dunks.
Nice.
I'm going to pull for the underdog,
Hammer.
West.
Hammer, don't hurt him.
So much for the Hammers rap. West was out in the first round. The second round belonged to Charlotte's rookie sensation, Larry Johnson.
LJ.
But the finals were all Cedric Ceballos of the Phoenix Suns, who clinched the title with a blindfolded jam.
All right, let's get it out of the way. Do you guys think he could see through those blindfolds? We all had this conversation back in '92. Do you think he could see? I think he could see slightly through the blindfolds. I don't have proof, but with the amount of lights, heavy lighting that's in the arena, I figured if he can just see a little bit, that light would really help. It would really help him. But yeah, let me know what your guys' opinion is on it. CC. Last I checked, he was still part of the Suns organization. When you're at the game, he's actually like the entertainer. So he's kind of like Cedric the Entertainer out here in between timeouts and every time there's a break, he was on the mic.
Who came up with the blindfold?
Well, me and Magic. Me and Magic was goofing around shooting
we played the Lakers down there, and he was holding his eyes. And he asked me, was I going to be in the dunk contest? He said, what you got for me? I said, I don't know. So I sat there about 5 more minutes. I said, I'm gonna change what D. Brown did. I'm gonna go totally blind.
The second-year man out of Cal State Fullerton going with the blindfold.
I'm telling you, Bob, I watched him go back and get his paces together, and I'm looking at this. It's like, what is he thinking about doing? And I'm telling you, when he made it, I saw his excitement, but you should have seen me. I was probably more excited than he was.
Remember last year when Michael Jordan made a free throw with his eyes closed?
Right.
I think he did it in Charlotte, right in front of his old North Carolina fans.
That's exactly right. This topped it. I don't care how you cut it. For a guy to go some 45 feet and time it, and not only did he dunk it, but he hammer dunked it. Absolutely the best I've ever seen.
Now, what did you like better, that or the Charlotte mascot, the man of teal with the head dunk in the Stay in School Jam?
I got to go with the blindfolded dunk. It was outstanding.
Oh, I remember
right,
that.
Next,
I remember
Johnson
what they're
talks with
talking
Dick
about.
Enberg as this all-star edition of NBA Showtime continues from the Orlando Arena.
Basketball. I'm in one of those predicaments right now where I don't even know if this video is going to get out there because I think it's totally blocked, but I want to finish watching this regardless, so I'm not stopping. Basketball.
NBA Showtime is brought to you by the Upper Deck Company.
Upper Deck.
Nobody does sports trading cards like Upper Deck.
Just 1 week into this NBA season, the shocking news of Magic Johnson's retirement hit us. In the 3 months since, the issue of AIDS in sports and in society has found a powerful spokesman. Throughout the ordeal, Magic has remained, at least outwardly, his old self, upbeat and smiling. About a week ago, he talked with Dick Enberg.
Oh, Michael Bolton, I'm so blocked. No, Michael Bolton, stop. And don't flag my video again.
God must have knew what he was doing when he chose me. Because he knew that my outlook on life wouldn't change. He knew that I would continue to stay strong and not really worry about what people would say, what their opinion is about me.
Yeah, you did.
The good and the bad was going to come with it. I was going to still stay myself. So here I am, still Irvin Johnson Jr.
It's been 3 months now since you made your announcement. Can you give us a medical update? What is the current situation?
Everything is going fine. The medicine that I'm taking is doing a wonderful job. Everything is great. I'm working out 4 miles a day. I'm shooting every day. I'm just feeling wonderful. So it's been no problem, no complications, anything. It's just been a smooth transition.
Well, the doctors say that the more energy expended, especially in the rigors of a NBA player, that you're taking off days, months, maybe even years at the other end of your life. Why do you take the risk?
Well, the only thing that's going to really hurt me is returning back to the NBA. The All-Star game is nothing. It's just like me working out because it's only one game. The Olympic team will be really not that strenuous either because we got an All-Star team. My minutes won't be heavy at all. What they fear if I come back and I play like Magic Johnson is used to playing, 40 minutes a night, trying to get the triple-doubles, the will to win, all of that would take its toll on me.
What's funny is that by the time Barcelona did happen, he did kind of become that Magic Johnson. I don't want to say kinda. He did become that Magic Johnson. He was as competitive as ever.
And that's what my doctors advised me not to play because of how I play.
Yep.
You have made the comment in the past that you took the baton from Dr. J, Julius Erving, gave you the NBA baton and said, go get him, you're the leader now, and that there'd be a day that would come where you'd be passing it on to Michael Jordan, and apparently that day has come.
That day has come, and he's taking it and running faster and jumping higher than I had ever had. And the thing about it, though, that I hate, though, is that I've left him too soon.
Yeah.
And he feels that, too. And that's why all this pressure and everything is upon him.
Yeah, it's true, because just in 91, 1 year prior, not even at this stage, not even 1 year, he just finally beat Magic Johnson on the greatest stage. And then now it's like, well, you just got to the top of the mountain, and now, well, here you go, MJ. The league is yours. That does come with a lot of pressure, because he now is the face of the league at this point, and he did a great job of it, but that's a lot of pressure to have.
And he also doesn't have a guy to gauge himself to now.
Yeah.
You know, we used to gauge each other, like, oh, what did Michael do last night? Okay, I got to do this. And he probably said, what did Magic do last night? Okay. So, you know, you had a gauge, you had a barometer, this guy, and say, you're always watching up over his shoulder saying, oh, Michael, what's the MVP? How many votes? You know, that whole thing. And now it's just him.
You remain a model. I mean, you're still the model, whether you're on the floor or not. I mean, your image and the fact, perhaps, I'm just guessing here, that one of the reasons you want to stay involved is that since you had to leave a little too soon, that by being present, your image, your model, your manner of conducting and treating this precious thing called the NBA for you lives on.
Yes, it lives on, and it also proves to other people who have anything that they can live on. You know, and that's the key right there. Life doesn't stop because something dramatic happens to you. You know, I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to continue on. That's the only way I know how. You know, you've been fighting all your life to get whatever it is that you want. You know it was going to be roadblocks, and it's just a bigger one now, and I just got to keep on fighting, you know, and keep on smiling and keep on having a good time. And as long as you can do that and say your prayers, everything will be all right. I'll be all right.
Now, for those of you who might not have been around during this time, and it's 2024, and we know what we know about HIV and the AIDS virus, and we know about our treatments for it, yada yada. Back in '92, this was known as a death sentence. So all of us thought Magic was going to die, and we thought he was going to die very soon. I'm not exaggerating. It's really what we thought. So we thought these were the last moments we were going to get to really see Magic. So the Olympics was huge. This All-Star game was huge. And it turns out there was a lot we didn't know about HIV, how we could treat it. No, there's no cure for it, but we didn't know back then how well we can keep it at bay. I'm sure it's going to improve over time as well and get even better. But for now, the current technology and the current medication, though it's insanely expensive, if you can find a way to get it, you have it's not a death sentence, basically, like what we understood it to be in the 90s. So yeah, all these interviews and stuff, it's literally, that's why it seems like we're talking to a dead man walking. And you know, these interviews are with a dead man walking, because we actually thought it was going to happen. And that's what made Magic so brave to me, was because in a time like this, where everybody was mourning Magic, he was out there with a big smile on his face, and he had a message of hope, and he was out to show the world that he doesn't have to fall apart because of the bad news. He still was a beaming light of joy and hope, and Magic, he still freaking is to this day. What, 32 years later? Incredible.
Well, most people believe that this will be his last NBA game in any sort of official league context, but he obviously leaves the door open for something more than that, even if others are skeptical.
Well, I think he leaves the door open because that's Magic Johnson, the eternal optimist, but yet he's dealing with the truth about his situation, but has to leave that crack of daylight. Let's say if there's, for some reason, a cure that may give him a chance to play. And I think it's as much as that as anything.
This is the live scene inside the West locker room. Hornacek came out, and he was followed by Worthy. And there's Magic. Magic Johnson walking out onto the floor, and while it's nowhere near capacity yet, people are still filing in. There should be some reaction from those who have gathered here when Magic gets through that tunnel just beneath our Showtime perch and can be seen by the, let's say, 25% of the people who will eventually be here who have gotten here already.
Western Conference All-Star.
Magic is right behind Clyde Drexler.
Oh, man, now Magic Johnson.
Worthy, Drexler,
Michael
now
Jackson
Magic.
Song on.
And he stops to talk briefly with our Ahmad Rashad, and perhaps we will hear from Magic Johnson in just a moment.
I got to tell you, Bob, I got a bit of a chill myself just watching him go out there. You know, this guy has meant so much to basketball, and to see him come out and get ready to go through this game, I really do. I feel privileged to see this.
Yeah, me too.
You know, this is going to be dramatic.
And don't get me wrong, you guys. If this does get out, I'm pretty sure this is blocked by this point. But if this does get out, don't get me wrong. We will be watching those highlights very soon. This is what happens when you react in real time. I thought that this was exactly that. I'm actually glad it's not, though, because this gives such a cool backstory about what the All-Star game was this year and why it meant so much. So now when I do a reaction to the actual All-Star game, it's going to hit even harder. So just hopefully it gets out there.
Going to be poignant, but also from a purely basketball standpoint, which is secondary, but nonetheless, it will be interesting from a basketball standpoint to see how sharp he will be.
Well, I think that's absolutely true. I think this is a barometer for Irving, because when he goes out and plays, though he has worked out consistently and run miles, he hadn't played against this level of competition consistently. He will have to do that today, and he'll determine, you know, how he feels coming out of this, and he'll have a better idea of what it will be like once he proceeds on to get himself prepared for the Olympics.
And as Magic and his Western mates warm up, the Eastern Conference All-Stars have just come out of their locker room, and they begin going through their drills at the basket on the opposite end of the Orlando arena. We're a little bit less than a half hour from the tip-off. Michael, of course, in pursuit of another NBA scoring title, and his closest pursuer, Dominique Wilkins, is injured and out for the year. So even though Michael's point average is down from past seasons, he's still got a very good chance to lead the league yet again.
Bob, I didn't think it was in jeopardy, God bless Dominique, even when he was ready, because when Michael's ready to get it done, he can do it with anybody.
Yeah.
All right, up next, the story of a man still chasing some dreams. The coach of the Western All-Stars, Don Nelson. When we come back to Orlando.
Nelson. Basketball. I love that theme song so much.
Well, this has become a truly international sport. A look at some of the foreign broadcasters who will be covering today's game. In total, it'll be seen in 90 countries.
Wow.
There's a look at a Romanian broadcaster doing his work. The game will be seen live in Romania. He is only hoping to avoid a mistake so that he won't be cited for a dreaded glitch in tomorrow morning's edition of Romania Today. The NBA All-Star Game is the ultimate players game, but getting to coach in this contest is as much a source of pride as playing in it. Not surprisingly, then, one of the nicer stories to emerge from this year's All-Star Game is that of a coach, not a player, Don Nelson. For 30 years in the NBA, Nelson has labored as a good but not great player, as an excellent but not championship-winning coach. For the man they call Nelly, basketball remains a consuming passion.
Well,
Run TMC, baby.
I'm actually not very proud of. Basketball has dominated my life ever since I can remember, and it's been the #1 thing in my life. And that's not healthy.
True.
Being so consumed, I'm obviously divorced. I didn't get to spend the time with my family that I should have.
Damn.
I can sit here and talk to you, and I'll be thinking about something on the court. I'm never without it, and I don't know how to control it, but I'm not very proud of it, actually.
Wow.
To get a better understanding
I didn't expect the dark twist to it.
of Don Nelson's basketball addiction, think about this. Last June, he remarried at center court.
At center
For
court.
30 years, the NBA has called him Nelly. He may paint his personal life in shades of gray, but as a player and as a coach, he's turned craftiness and innovation into a brightly colored art form.
As a player, I wasn't a great player. I had to find ways around shortcuts and to participate against the other great players. And when I went into coaching, I kind of used that, and I taught some guys with average abilities like yourself.
Thank you.
And gave them some hints, and it worked with some of those players, and it added something to their careers.
You, in my opinion, you're one of those guys, and I think most people think that you'll go the extra effort to try to make a deal. You traded me for Dave Cowens, who had been out 2 years, because you felt the club needed a power forward. This year, you make the trade of Mitch Richmond for Billy Owens. Is that the way you tend to go about things, trying to move yourself to the next level?
I always think, Quinn, that you should look for the talent first and good people right next to it. And if it happens to be a smaller player, I'd rather go with a talented player, a more talented player than just size.
He's as popular as he is eccentric. This is the guy who turned the fish tie into high fashion.
I watch the way Nelly dresses, and I try and stay as far away from that as possible.
This is the guy who drove a tractor across Wisconsin to raise money for farmers. He's also the guy who's been named Coach of the Year twice, turned around 2 struggling franchises, and he still dreams of more. Dreams that involve basketball, of course.
Wider, Ellie.
I mean, Nelly never got that ring, did he? I'm trying to think of all of... He didn't get it in Dallas. He didn't get it in Golden State. I don't think Nelly ever got that ring.
Too tight.
The Olympic coaching job, it was important enough for you to campaign for it, if you will. You made it known very clearly you were interested. How disappointed were you when you didn't get it?
Well, I didn't campaign for the job. What I did was to tell everybody that I wanted the job. Is that campaigning? I don't really think so.
Kind of.
It was a disappointment because it was something that I wanted to do. I have 2 goals in my life as a basketball coach. One is to someday participate in the Olympics, and one is to coach a world championship game or team, be in the finals and win that ring as a coach. I've done it as a player, but I've never participated as a coach.
Let me know. Did he ever get to coach the USA team? Even as an assistant or anything like that?
He talked to you, didn't get into the piece, but he talked to you a bit about his feelings concerning coaching Magic Johnson in this game.
I've known Nelly since he's been in pro basketball as a coach. It's very, very important for him to have this opportunity because he thinks so highly of Magic. Nelly always wanted to get to the top. He wanted to coach the best. He's got a chance to coach Irvin Magic Johnson in an all-star game. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Magic has been warming up for a few minutes now. Let's see how he's doing as we check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Bob. Irvin, now, I know that you have been in so many big games in your career, but this one, seeing that this is probably your last game, how about the butterflies?
Well, of course they're there. You know, you're nervous and everything, but at the same time, you're looking forward to the game and looking forward to getting out there, throwing some elbows, getting some back, smacking some people, getting some smacks back. So, you know, it's just all of it that goes with playing and being with the best. The only thing I missed today is Larry Bird, hey, you should have been here. Wherever camera I'm looking into, I miss you because I got like 10 VCRs back home all on, and you're not here. So that's the only thing I'm missing today.
All right, but tell me this. You've been playing pickup basketball. How your legs feeling?
Legs are fine. So everybody's waiting to see that. So we'll get a chance to see that in a little while.
All right, we're ready for the Magic Show.
All right, thanks.
All right, man. Good luck to you. Bob?
Pretty obvious, Quinn, regardless of the issues and the questions that may overlap for some, he intends for this weekend, and especially the game we're about to see, to be an occasion of unmitigated joy.
I tell you, I like the smile. This is his chance to go out and have fun. Why not? Go for it.
All right, and up next, we'll meet all the All-Stars as we turn things over to Dick Enberg and Mike Fratello. The 42nd NBA All-Star Game is coming up after these messages from your local station.
One more chance to block me. Well, this was different. This was different. It was unexpected. And I thought it was pretty cool. Hopefully, I'm going to make sure the title and the thumbnail is not something that's going to confuse you guys, so you know that this is going to be all the media coverage. Because what I'm reading here, you know, for the name of this video is NBA on NBC Showtime, 1992 NBA All-Star Game. Now, I think that's where I went wrong because it says NBA and NBC Showtime. But when it said the 92 All-Star Game, I just figured, you know, it was the actual All-Star Game. But I'm going to make sure it's nice and clear and concise for you guys. That way you don't click on this accidentally thinking this is the All-Star Game. But yeah, like I said, don't get me wrong. Now that we've done the intro for the All-Star Game, I'm definitely doing the All-Star Game. And if I have anything, if it's in my control, it'll be out tomorrow. You know, I'll do it for tomorrow night's After Dark. But anyways, everybody, let me know what you thought. This actually took me down memory lane. I mean, I remember when Magic Johnson announced that he was retiring and he had the HIV virus. I remember watching that on SportsCenter in the morning. As a kid, it was like, you know, whatever, 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I turned on the tube and I watched it, and I remember just crying all day. Like, I was so devastated, so sad, and we all thought Magic was about to die, and it was such a big deal. And then the amount of joy that we felt that he was gonna participate in this All-Star Game. I'll never forget that, watching with my brother. And then with the Olympics as well, like, he gave us so many more gifts before he was done with the game of basketball, and I just have to thank him, because yeah, it definitely helped ease the pain of thinking that he was passing away. Like, to watch him fight, it taught us young people a lesson that I don't think I ever forgot, and hopefully a lot of you haven't forgotten either. That when, you know, everything is looking like it's over, you know, there's very little hope, you still gotta fight. You know, you still gotta show up, you still gotta fight. You don't just lay down and die. And Magic didn't lay down and die, and he fought with a smile on his face, and that taught me something as well. You know, just because you're feeling a little, you know, you're feeling down inside, you have your doubts, it doesn't mean you have to portray that, and you have to, like, have that, like, resting on your shoulder at all times. Sometimes it's a good thing to inspire others, even if that means it's challenging and you're scared. But anyways, that's the premise for this All-Star Game. And wow, so much I forgot about it. So when getting recommended this, I kind of forgot the rabbit hole I was jumping into. But let's make it a two-parter. I'll be back tomorrow night with the actual game. And hopefully this gets out there and I wasn't talking to myself the whole time. Like the video if you liked it. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. I appreciate you all. And I will see you tomorrow morning. And I'll see you in the comments.